Let's start by fixing this one biggest mistake people will make about their pain. And pain is the thinking that pain equals damage, but pain does not always equal damage. You can have serious damage in the body and feel nothing, or you can have intense pain and upon looking deeper, there may not be anything what we consider structurally wrong with you. And if you don't understand this, this is why you will stay stuck when you have a problem. Most people think that pain is a measurement, some kind of gauge. More pain equals more damage in the body. And this, on a rational level, could make some sense, but it's not really how the body works. Pain does not necessarily, in part it does, but pain is not coming from the tissues per se. It's coming from the nervous system and your brain trying to decide if the information it is getting from the body is a threat to the entire system. And we'll see this thought of damage and pain become challenged in our folks that have had amputations. And this doesn't happen to everybody, but sometimes people can have incredible amounts of pain in a area of the body that has been removed, and they can continue to feel the pain in that area, even if like their arm or leg has been, or foot or whatever, has been completely amputated due to some other problem. And you also got to stop and think about, okay, this person no longer has the tissue, the joint, the structure in that part of them, but they're still receiving, sometimes real intense amounts of pain signaling. And we have to think, okay, where's this coming from then? And then you realize it's the entire system. And most people get trapped here. When they feel pain, they assume that there's some sort of damage happening. And what ends up, the next step is they stop. They'll stop moving. They'll avoid loading. They'll sit back and wait for it to heal. And they'll do that even if there is nothing meaningful that has happened. And many times there's no meaningful damage left, and they're still at that point trying to wait for, quote, healing. But what ends up happening is you just begin reinforcing sensitivity to that problem. So the people get caught in this loop of pain, fear, avoidance, weakness, more pain, and so on. So you begin to move less, you become weaker, detrained, deconditioned. Your body starts increasing sensitivities, and now everything starts to feel worse. And this is what ends up being the issue with why the pain keeps coming and going, moves around a little bit, starts to feel different day to day. And if we went back to that idea that pain equals damage and more damage equals more pain, then we would have consistency in the feelings day to day, but that's not what happens. So what do you need to do? What's something you can do? First thing you can do is stop treating pain as damage and just start looking at it as feedback. And then turn around and begin to rebuild as quick as you can through movement, strength, and testing tolerance of the situation. You have to be gradual and you have to be consistent. And the timeline can be fairly long, so you have to always keep that in mind. There's no rush when we're looking to turn the system back down. So just remember, when there's some sort of pain that pops up in your training, the majority of the time, vast majority of the time, you are not broken. and you likely didn't even do any significant damage. But you're sensitive, and sensitivity can be changed. But it takes consistent, frequent, tolerable work that you must do.